It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160, in our conversation with Greg Brown of the Pirates. Brought to you by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people, and sponsored by the Laurel Eye Clinic and Diamond Drug and Diamond Medical Supply. I don't know if he has the same number of butterflies that he normally would if this were around the 1st of April, but Greg Brown is with us on opening day in July today. Greg, good morning.
That is an odd sound, isn't it? Opening day in July.
Yeah.
but at least it sounds great, opening day.
Yeah.
And in terms of butterflies, the thing that's weird for me is that the team flew out to St. Louis last night, and I spoke with our PR director late at night, and I asked him kiddingly, are you going to, and I mentioned a favorite hot spot that we'd go to just to unwind after a game. And he chuckled, about it. And because they're in their hotel, the same hotel, they took the same charter flight that they normally would. Mm-hmm. Not as many people on the flight as normal, but it landed at the same airport, took the buses, and got to the hotel. And then they're in their room. They're ordering room service. They'll walk across the street from the Westin Hotel to Busch Stadium later today. It's weird not being there, and I think that because of that, maybe different butterflies exist. I'm trying to negotiate exactly where I'm going to do my work from. I think I'm probably going to do my pregame prep, head out there early this afternoon in the broadcast booth at PNC Park, even though I won't be broadcasting the game from there. Mm-hmm. At a certain time, I don't know when, I'll walk across the 2 or 3 block stretch to AT&T Sportsnet studios. I'll get settled in at the desk there, and we'll call the game. But once the game starts, the butterflies will certainly be going. I had them for the exhibition game on whatever day that was. Now every day is Tuesday, someone says during this quarantine. But anyway, when we did that game the other night from the ballpark, I had the butterflies going. Yeah. And I'm sure they'll be kicking in shortly. Do
you have a sense that opening day excitement among the players that you normally would?
I think so. Yeah, I think that I got that sense just watching them perform during summer camp on the field. They were I really believed just watching them from our location high above behind home plate that there's an extra kind of bounce in their steps. And you just see they were having fun being back. Now I will say there's probably a different sense about each of them today as we approach this brave new world we enter, where it's only 60 games. The designated hitter for the first time ever in baseball history tonight will be implemented in a National League city against a National League team. 2 National League clubs will have the DH. If the game goes into the 10th inning, a runner will begin at second base. The relief pitchers will face at least 3 batters unless they get the last out of an inning. And all of a sudden, just like that, poof, we've got 16 teams going to the playoffs. Yeah, more than half of baseball will be going to the playoffs, which means it's been an old cliche for me, but no longer. When I've said you hover around 500 by the All-Star break, you've got a chance, because I've always believed if you're around 500, you're within striking distance of a wild card spot, which means your general manager will probably make moves to try and improve your team to get you over the hump. Well, now the trade deadline is the end of August. It's in 1 month. Mm-hmm. And now if you're within 500, you're in the playoffs. It's like hockey all of a sudden in baseball. In the NHL, if you're a 500 team, more than likely right around 500, you're going to the playoffs, Stanley Cup. And now it's like that in baseball.
Yeah, it's really, really a different year. And the only thing that I don't see happening in baseball is right field's an automatic out, like when we were kids, and there weren't enough to fill it
close,
out.
But not yet.
Greg, a lot of people say Pirates, low payroll, not a lot there, not going to be a very interesting team to watch. I don't think that's the case at all. I think they got a really nice blend of players, young and old, but those young guys are pretty exciting ball players.
Agree 100%, and I've never bought into the payroll thing. That's just, to me, and I get it. Believe me, I've debated this with my fans, friends, family members about payroll until I'm blue in the face, and I can factually proved time and time again, including going into the 13, 14, and 15 seasons when people talked about the Pirates' payroll, but yet they went to the postseason, and they had one of the best teams in baseball, certainly in 2015 when they won 98 games. That is especially true in a 60-game sprint where payroll can't possibly. Now, you know, as I've said, too, you could take a 60-game stretch in almost any baseball season from any team, take a chunk out of that season of 60 games, and you will find, more often than not, a stretch where they played really well. Mm-hmm. And so I really think more than any other season you can almost throw out that payroll because a team gets hot at the start, they're in it. As I said, you know, it's even like the first series starting tonight in St. Louis. If you win 2 out of 3, the importance of each game is multiplied, I think, by 3, a factor of 3. That was before the expanded playoffs. A win or loss is 3 times more important starting tonight than it would have been last year going into opening day. Yeah. And again, payroll you can basically throw out the window because a team gets hot, they're not thinking about their payroll. And I agree with you. I think there are some. I love what Josh Bell's doing right now. I like what Colin Moran's doing, swinging the bat. I love what the starting pitching looks like right now. Musgrove, Trevor Williams, even Mitch Keller, who goes Sunday. Derek Holland, the veteran lefty. I love talking to him about what this team looks like. I like the combination of Chad Kuhl and Stephen Brault as a 5th starter. I think that creates an interesting matchup because the opposing manager, he's not going to know what to do because he's got the right-hander Kuhl starting. Does he have the left-hander Brault starting? Well, after 3 innings, it's reversed.
Yeah.
And his lineup looks completely different. So it's just such a wild and wacky year that all bets are off.
Yeah, that's one at bat. You figure that Brault.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's one at bat for a lot of guys. If Brault and Kuhl are throwing the baseball well. I know I'm keeping you longer than I'm supposed to, Greg, but I have to ask you this. Last year at the beginning of the season, we were hoping, but not as hopeful as we might have been, that Josh Bell would break out. We saw Kevin Newman the year before. We thought, oh, gosh, I thought he was going to be good, and he wasn't. Nobody was talking about Brian Reynolds. Those 3 all had breakout years for the Pirates. Who do you see on that field for the Pirates, on that roster right now, that you think might be the next breakout or has had an outstanding camp that is really worth watching for us?
I mean, Colin Moran is swinging the bat as well as any time I've seen him now, and the short time he's been with the Pirates. But going back to spring training 1 and the summer camp, he's on everything. He's kind of Rick Eckstein the hitting coach talked to me about him last spring, and I thought, well, here's a hitting coach looking for something positive to talk about. But you know, Moran looks like a real deal right now, and so he's the guy I'm looking for in terms of offensively breaking out. In terms of a pitcher, Nick Birdie. I think is a guy certainly something to look at with his stuff as a relief pitcher. And you know, I mentioned Chad Kuhl. Chad Kuhl might emerge in a short amount of time, might just throw that piggyback off his back in Stephen Brault and might end up starting every 5th day in a short time. He's coming off Tommy John surgery 2 years ago, missed all of last year. I really like what Chad Kuhl is looking like right now. So those are probably my 3 guys. Oh, and in terms of a bench guy, I love Phillip Evans, who made the team, a guy who played cups of coffee with the Mets a couple of years ago, played all minor league ball last year, AAA with the Chicago Cubs, fire plug, stocky, right-handed bat that has some pop. I like him off the bench a lot.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And can there be 2 more fun people than Chad Kuhl and Stephen Brault, unless you're throwing. No,
that's the other thing too. That's a great point because you know what personalities you have as the 2-headed monster. You got to come up with a nickname for those 2. Yeah. The Kuhl and Brault double headers.
There you go. You throw Trevor Williams in. Pirates got some characters.
Oh, do they ever?
Greg Brown, thanks so much for spending some time with us. Maybe we'll catch up with you 1 or 2 more times in this short season.
I'd love to do it.
All right, terrific. Have a great day today. Enjoy it.
Thanks.
It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160.